lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast that prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's #1 lycanthrope, Jack Russell, aka the Werewolf, aka the Shaggy One, aka Russell Jackson, and also known as the Demon of Wundagore. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners.
So this month we've been speaking with a lot of the actors from the Werewolf by Night Disney Plus special. And this week we were lucky enough to talk to Eugenie Bondurant. And here's a bit of that conversation. Thanks so much for agreeing to do this. So I had read that Michael and I think one of the producers, Brian, had seen you, I think, in The Conjuring 3 and had asked you to personally to audition for this role. That's correct?
Well, I think they had seen my performance in Conjuring 3. I was not aware of that. All I got was an audition from my agent, an unnamed audition. Would you mind auditioning for this? Do I mind? No, I mind. I would love to. It did not have a Marvel name on it. It didn't. And that would be really wonderful to know. So it didn't have a Marvel name, but they did know my work from The Conjuring. So I think that it all ended up working out. And then I found out later on that I was pinned for it, which is nice. I mean, it's kind of, being a former sorority girl, being pinned for something is a really, am I pinned to the fraternity guy? I don't know. But in this case, I'm pinned to production, which is very nice. So, yeah.
So when did you realize that it was Werewolf by Night?
Well, I still did not know it was Werewolf by Night, but I knew once when I was pinned, I knew it was a Marvel project, which I guess in some ways, I'm kind of like a baseball player. I don't want to get my hopes up until I'm actually on set working and I actually make the cut. You just don't know in this business. So anyway, I found out that it indeed was Marvel, that I was pinned, and I went, oh yeah, I'm pinned. That's nice. And then when they came back around and said, well, these are the dates you're working. Yes, I'm working. Oh, hallelujah. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I'm working. So yeah, and then I heard it was, Werewolf by Night, but I thought, you know what? They may change that. Everything is so, you just don't know in this business. You don't know if the title is going to change. And then I think it wasn't until I was actually on set that I put two and two together. This is Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Oh, not just Werewolf by Night. It's Werewolf by Night. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So yeah, it was really neat. The neat thing was working with everybody and working with Michael and working with the cast and the phenomenal crew. Just so talented.
Yeah, we've heard nothing but great stories from the actors and from Michael. It seemed like such an intimate, cool set where you guys were just left alone to make this amazing thing. And wow, indeed. The reception to this has just been out of this world. Like, how have you reacted to that? It's been incredible.
Well, it's been fun. I have a story. I teach acting as well, and I have this core group of students that I just love and adore, and I feel like I bring them on in my heart to the set every job that I do. So I couldn't tell them anything, and when I knew that the trailer was coming out, it was our first day of class back, and so I have a chair. It's the captain's chair, right? Because I'm an actor. Anyway, and I have a few of those bags, and stuff. Well, we got those, the little bags with your name and everything. So I put it on the chair, but I didn't let them know what it was. I just, on one side it was, had a name, Linda, which was the original name to Azarel.
Wow.
That was the placeholder name. I couldn't see her as Linda, but I'm glad they changed it. But, I don't have any control of that. At any rate, so I go in front of the class and I told them that because of them, one of the things that I did, because of them and their understanding and their joy for acting, I feel like we're all in the same circle together and we're, supporting one another. And I said, thank you for really supporting me while I did this job. And I turned the chair around. Oh my gosh, you should have seen them. They were jumping up and down and crying. And one was like, oh my gosh, I'm so fangirling on you right now. And I mean, it just, I get stopped and they say, you were in that film. Yes, I was in that movie. Oh yeah, we saw you. That was such a cool project. Indeed it was. This is a very special project. How it was filmed, how it was pulled together, the way it was written, edited, the music. Oh, everybody in it just was magical. So I don't know if that answered your question or not, but
yeah, absolutely. You were talking about a circle. So Michael mentioned to us that I think he said it was on day one of filming that he had the crew go to lunch and he had the principal cast sit in a circle and talk about their earliest memory of being terrified. If you don't mind us asking, what was yours?
Well, first of all, that was the coolest thing a director's ever done. I mean, bar none. I've never been in an experience like that where a director's, carved out that time for us. So, I was going to say Sound of Music. That is totally not the answer. Wizard of Oz. Sound of Music. Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz. I saw it way too young. Probably 4 or 5. I think part of it is that I was over at the boys next door, the house next door loaded with boys. I was the youngest by 2 years of the whole group that was maybe 4, which was my age, 4 or 5 to maybe 12 or 13. Well, 12 and 13-year-old can watch that. Wizard of Oz should not be watched by a 4-year-old. And it just freaked me out. I'm like, oh, she's fine. Oh, you're just, seeing the flying monkeys. So on me. I thought the monkeys were going to be under my bed, and then they turned to alligators. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, oh, now you're going to get me, and the monster under the bed, and the witch, and she's going to take me away on her broom. And it was just panic. So yeah, that was my first experience.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, that must have been so cool. Like you said, that you'd never had a director do that before. So it did have its intended effect, right? You all felt closer and understood kind of where you were all coming from on this horror project. It's so cool.
You get to know, it doesn't happen very often. I mean, so early on that you get to, when you meet someone, that you get to know a little bit of personal information about them. And that was... that it was a gem. It was one of the first beautiful gifts that Michael gave us. And it really set the tone for the entire project.
And it's brilliant because not only is it breaking the ice and like fast bonding you guys together and by sharing something personal, but it's also his compass point of like, that's what I want to do to kids everywhere this Halloween.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that because that's exactly what he said. Yeah. Can you imagine? This is going to be their first scary movie or their experience or some child's first scary movie. And I thought, that's really good because there's a little, maybe might be adult, I don't know, but there's a little bit of, there's humor in there. And here's this beautifully this conceptual idea and story, and it just flows so well. And there's humor as well. And they also see, which is really cool, monsters that aren't monsters, that are, they can look at people or look at creatures or whatever, maybe differently. Someone might observe things in a different way. I think that's what's really special about this project.
Yeah, well, I know Michael talked about that he wanted to show, that he said that when he was watching old Universal horror films and things like that he felt bad for the monsters. And that's what he really wanted to show. But also, you can also say that, the hunters, even though all of you die, that the hunters are also the good guys.
Well, indeed.
they're trying to fight evil. They think that they're doing something great, even though we realize that Ted and Man-Thing isn't evil. But yeah, it was just so cool the way that he did. Yeah, layer all that.
I agree. It's funny you say that. When I look at a project and I look at a role that I'm playing, I do a deep dive into why the character is doing what they do. Well, if I'm playing an antagonist, which happens sometimes frequently, then I've got to figure out or justify, the motivation behind that character and why that character is doing what they're doing. So I look at that character as a protagonist instead of an antagonist and flesh out the story. Oftentimes in the story is not, we don't want to hear the story, the backstory of the antagonist. The antagonist is just getting in the way of the protagonist. So in this, I did. I did. You're right. I did think, no, she's protecting her environment. I did create that rich backstory that she is absolutely motivated for doing what she does and completely justified. So you're right. And on both ends, you don't see that very often.
Yeah, you stole one of my questions. I wanted to ask you about.
You look at all the other characters.
I wanted to ask you about the backstory you created for your character, if you did, because Kirk shared his kind of, he built his own biography for his guy he played. So just interesting to see how everybody kind of inhabits that character and fleshes it out so they have something to work in.
So in my mind, you want to hear it?
Yes, that's what I was going to ask. Yes.
Well, I hope I can say it clearly. Sometimes I beat around the bush and I don't get to the point, so bear with me on this. But in my mind, she came from a family of hunters, and they're twins. She's one of twin. No, I'm not a twin, but oops, I have a cat that might want to get on the computer.
That's okay.
At any rate, sorry about that. So she was a twin, and she was twin with male-female twins, fraternal twins, and the father had chosen the son as the heir to the the family, and he was going to run the business, and I wasn't having any part of it. And I thought I was a lot smarter and a lot more gifted in the hunting department, which I ended up proving them right. Now, in my backstory, I actually have a little bit of evil in there that I created a situation in which my brother was unable to fight, if you know what I mean. He couldn't. And so I was the one who had to take care of the family. I was the one who was going to inherit the mantle, and I was justified. And when I went in, we're surrounded by all men. So there were only three of us, right? So Laura's character, Harriet's character, my character, all women, right? The rest are men with big egos. And I thought, no. The women are going to get together and rule this. And I'm going to prove to them that I am going to kill the beast, and we'll all three work together in cahoots. So when in the top of this film, when Harriet talks about, you had this many deaths and this and that and the other, and Laura comes in, I'm thinking, first of all, I'm going to beat you all. I'm going to get this monster. But second of all, Laura's character Elsa, like, what are you doing? Come on, you can have this. You can inherit this entire world, and we women can rule it. To me, it was a female story. I had a really female-driven. So there you go.
Well, yeah, but I think that's very accurate. A lot of, you could make a perfect case that this is Laura's story. This is Elsa's story.
Absolutely.
And Harriet is, her performance is just so out of this world. It's just so many people have talked about just how amazing she was. And
absolutely.
Yes. So it's also her story.
Stepmother.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. It was like watching, being part of a masterclass, being in the show, and then watching her. She'd do a take, and I'd look at Daniel because he was sitting right next to me. And we'd look at each other like, what did I just see? I just can't believe what I just saw. Or, look at somebody else. Like, did you just hear? It was the funniest thing. And sometimes it was tough. I don't know if anybody else has told you this, maybe Kirk or somebody, but they would be we would be there and we'd have to focus and concentrate. And I'm thinking, this is cracking me up. Don't get out of character. Don't get out of character. And I was thinking, gosh, I'm so glad the camera's on Harriet and not on me. Don't turn it around with the camera. And please don't let me make her pull, please don't let me distract her because she's spinning her web and she's amazing. Yeah, it was a hoot. I mean, we're constantly laughing. Did Kirk tell you about the cold night where we were all together around the altar? I don't know if he did or not, but Kirk, in between every cut, it was freezing cold. It's Atlanta. I mean, to me, I live in Florida, so everything is cold that's below 60. So it's freezing cold. It's in the low 40s. It's cold. I'm like, and there are heaters everywhere. And they'd go, okay, rolling. And, everybody do their thing. And then we started to chant and blah, blah, blah. And after cut, and everybody would go back to, we're freezing. And then Kirk would start singing or say a line. And then we'd start riffing and singing. All of us. One of us would start singing it's either a rap tune or a little soul song or something, just based on what he would say. And I thought, this is hysterical. I can't believe I'm living this. I can't believe this is my job. This is not a job. It's not a job. It's great. I'm in my happy place. It's incredible.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that Kirk would lead that.
And there he is, this big guy,
Yeah.
I got sunshine or something, I'll start chiming in. Another one too, when Gael, in that same scene, we would be chanting and he has to turn around and he's walking with the flaming tuba. Flaming tuba.
David.
For real, flaming tuba. Come on. So he's walking with him, and it took everything that we all had to not start laughing in the take as he was walking down, because he has such this little quirky walk, and he'd turn around like, am I going in the right place? Or not as the actor, but as the character, And we would we're all mic'd up and going, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. So funny. It was really terrific. He's a terrific actor. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, lastly, what I wanted to ask you is about, people that listen to our show, they've all seen the special. They all love Werewolf by Night. So we don't need any spoilers here. So I wanted to talk to you about your awesomely gruesome death scene and that fight with Laura. Like how did that go? How'd you prepare for it? Number one. And then what was the execution of that?
How did I prepare for it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a gal by the name of Jess Durham. And I said, this is how I prepare for it. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my stunt double. Thank you. I thank you. Okay. So we weren't supposed to say anything when we heard it was Marvel, super secret. Like I'm, gonna do like super secret handshake and everything. So I know that there's going to be some sort of, I'd heard that there were going to be stunts, right? So Jess was my stunt double for Conjuring. So I got to know her over the course of the months that we were filming. And she's a fun gal. Stunt people, the coolest people I know. They really are. They're cool. They're smart. They're in the prime condition of their bodies. They're incredible. So anyway, I text Jess and I say, hi, I'm going to be coincidentally in Atlanta for a certain amount of time filming on a lot where we filmed before, because I was afraid to even say the name of the lot. I couldn't say Marvel on a project that's starting in about a week. And I don't know, maybe you might be part of that. I'm not sure. She texts back, yeah, I'm actually going to wardrobe today, suiting up for you. What? I'm so excited. So preparing for that, I laid all on the feet of Jess Durham and then the incredible stunt crew that did just remarkable work. And we did work. Anytime I could, I was asking production, or production was asking us, hey, do you want to do any stunt rehearsal? Yes. I was so sore. I've never been so sore. I realized how out of shape I am. And it's okay. It's a blast. So yeah, we rehearsed as much as we could. And they had, I'm sure maybe the audience knows about this, but usually when there's a lot of stunt work, a stunt crew will come together and they choreograph the stunts, and it's very specific. And they get the approval of the director, and I'm sure the producers, et cetera, et cetera. So once that's down, you're assigned certain stunt people as part of the team, and then they teach you. So you have to learn that work. So wasn't that a great death?
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So when Michael said, so this is who you are, this is your character, who she is, blah, blah, blah. I'm still clueless because I hadn't read the script yet. I wasn't given the script. And I think, okay. And I said, she's not going to die. Oh, yeah. She said, oh, but she's going to be the last to die. Yes. And she's going to have a spectacular death.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It was very cool and fun. Getting the voice down was fun too for that. What do you do when the knife goes in your head? Oh, I mean, I don't know. All fun.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, Eugenie, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us. This has just been a treat. We know yes. Kirk prepared us. Kirk said you were going to love her. We had such a good time. Kirk, yeah. So
we did.
He prepared us for how awesome you were, and you were. So yeah, thanks so much
Thank
again.
You.
Yes, thank you very much.
We loved it. Thank you for asking me to be on the show. And again, everybody else, whoever you're recording, everyone is just really has a special place in my heart, and I hope I get to see them again. I'd love to do a sequel where we all come back alive again and we get to play in the sandbox once more.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would work with Michael anytime. He's just so great. Anyway,
he is, right?
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, Michael is just such an unreasonably nice guy. You don't understand just how great he was. And man, that director by night, holy shit, we did not expect that making of documentary to be so moving.
Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen it.
So good, man.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
I think it's exactly the same running time as the special too. I don't know if Anthony did that as a little wink and a nod. It's 53 minutes, which I think is the exact runtime of Werewolf by Night.
He's another one that's very special. Anthony, I got to meet and talk with him during filming, and what an incredible thing that he put together.
Oh, it's unreal. It's
You're
so
gonna be
good.
blown away by it. It's like no other behind the scenes I've ever seen. It is. I mean, you can tell he's a documentarian and he's a storyteller, and it's powerful stuff. Very moving.
Well, gosh, guys, thank you so much for having me on. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Welcome. And I look forward to the next time, whenever that might be.
I hope soon.
Awesome.
Okay.
We're going to be talking with a lot of the other actors in the next couple weeks. So yeah, look forward to that. But for tonight's episode, we are joined by good friends of the show, Russ and Justin from Gamma Charge. And yeah, we're very excited to have you guys. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're happy to be here. Lycanthropes, whatever.
Yes. Fellow creatures of the night.
It took us a while to have a reason to have you on the show, being the whole connecting tissue. So
yeah, it's kind of weird that it took them this long to meet each other, right?
Yeah. I for some reason I thought there was a crossover in the 70s, but that must have been some strange implanted memory.
Yeah, definitely not. We would know, huh, Jacob?
I would think so, but yeah, you're right. It is a little strange that it took until, yeah. What is this issue? Is this 80,
89?
What? 89. Wow. Yeah. But I mean, I'm kind of excited though that they waited this long because we're in the Joe Fixit era. We're in a great era for the Incredible Hulk. One of my favorites. I would have, if not my own, my very favorite, which I think I've gone on record before as saying. So yeah, I'm really excited that we've waited this long.
There's a reason that they haven't met, though. I mean, if you recall season 1, two longshoremen could take out the Jack Russell werewolf in the 70s. So it wouldn't have been quite a matchup. He's not exactly the Abomination.
No.
So I can see why they mercifully kept these two in separate parts of the country for a while.
Definitely. Yeah, that poor original run Jack Russell it was all bark, no bite.
Yeah, he got beat up a lot.
He did. That's probably why I like him so much. I always go for the underdogs.
That's right. Yeah. Me too.
And the poor little rich boys.
You guys got it. I know Jacob had a bit of an altercation when I sent him the code for the new Moon Knight annual, but there is a part in that you guys are going to absolutely love. I laughed my ass off because it's a lovely reference to the 70s Werewolf by Night. It's so funny. So funny.
Did McKay write that? Is this the normal team?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they were out of it at my shop, so he said a second pressing is coming, so I ordered one of those. Nice. I'll wait and read it physically.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy it. I thought it was good.
And I also missed out on that Crypt of Shadows, but they're not going to reprint that because that was a Halloween special. But it turns out that wasn't Jack anyway. I think it was Jake Gomez. So not as big a deal. I was still like a Halloween one-shot, obviously, but...
Yeah, I missed that on that too. I thought that was going to be a mini, but no, that's a one-shot. Yeah.
I'm sure I can scare one up for $50 if I really want to look for them. So if folks aren't familiar with Gamma Charge, can you kind of describe to them just like the format of the show and how that works?
Sure. So Justin and I are huge Hulk fans, but we're not all knowing when it comes to the Hulk. So we kind of wanted to start a show to where we could express our love for the Hulk and also have a reason to read more Hulk comics. So basically we do usually 2 episodes a month. One episode is focused on the Banner Hulk in any of its incarnations. We usually just we're about to make our schedule for next year, and it's going to be all over the place. But then our second episode of the month, we talk about Jennifer. We have been going chronologically through Sensational She-Hulk by John Byrne, and we're almost to the end of his first stint on the book. And then we end every episode on the regular Hulk episodes, we end with a rant pants, where we talk about the state of the world and how it's fucking us. And then to counterbalance that, a listener suggested on the Jennifer episode, since she's a much more positive person, to end with a glam jam, which is a positive spin on the rant pants, something that we're enjoying in life at the moment.
Yeah, things that make us happy.
Okay, so you kind of appropriated Cheers and Jeers from TV Guide and whatever it was.
Well,
Entertainment Weekly.
They haven't been doing much with it lately. Yeah.
No. Well, TV Guide's just, it's not what it was.
No.
Right. It's going to be public domain soon anyway.
Right. So you're doing 2 episodes a month?
Yeah.
So are you planning on uploading your consciousness to the interwebs so you can complete that? Because that's going to, at this pace, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. This is this is going to be a very long running show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although you don't do issue by issue as much, right? You guys tend to do like a storyline or.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just recorded one that might be the best/worst one ever, where Justin coerced me into talking about Hulk 2099. And it's one of the worst comics I've ever read, and I had to read it and talk about it after a terrible day. So that one's going to be podcast gold.
Poor Russell going a whole night with 3 hours of sleep and then having to work a 10-hour shift and then read Hulk 2099.
That's why God made meth. How is that? I honestly
that we didn't know existed.
I didn't know that character existed until he posted some things. I literally was like, "Is that Pitt?" I don't know who is this.
It's something.
came out during that, whenever all the 2099 stuff was happening. And, it's like, oh, we got a hit here with Spider-Man, and the Doom 2099 book is pretty cool. Let's try it with everyone. And Hulk, they just decided that we're just going to throw shit at the wall and nothing's going to stick.
Yeah, something will eventually smear somewhere.
See, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, it's not Banner, right? It's totally different.
No,
it's
See, it'd be cool
Banner.
with
John Eisenhart is his name.
Wow, that's a very dramatic name. It'd be kind of cool, like in light of the Immortal Hulk and all those revelations of the nature of his affliction, that if it was actually Banner and he was really fucking tired of being alive and coming back to life, and he's in the far-flung future, that's got gas, right?
Yes.
You just made a better version of it.
Absolutely.
Which is
we need to do a reboot now.
It's kind of like the Maestro situation there. Similar to that, but
very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read the Maestro stuff, so.
Oh, you definitely should.
Is that David?
Yeah.
I'll get there. Yep. I'm working through those Visionary collections, loving it. This is the first time I've read any of this Joe Fixit era, the stuff we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Nice.
Outside of just random issues I would pick up, or like, oh, there's Spider-Man on it, or,
Right.
Todd McFarlane drew the cover. Seemed like a great idea in 1989. Yeah, so it's been a blast reading through the stuff in order, and we did that the countdown. What was that called? The leader story where he blows up the whole town. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Leader's got a brand new bomb.
Leader's got a brand new bomb.
You guys made that up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Actually, Matt, I think you did.
No.
Yeah.
I think that was Alan Smithy.
It. Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I was out of town that day with a friend at McDonald's. So yeah, we should jump in, because I think I actually stopped reading the Peter David Visionary collections after I read this issue, because I was like, I don't want to go on until I talk to these guys, and that was unfortunately like 6 months ago. So it's been taking a while.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get back into it. So this week we're talking about the Incredible Hulk number 362, which is cover dated mid-November. This 80, I can't read the date. What does it say? 89?
89, yeah.
So the last time we saw our guy was in West Coast Avengers 40, which had a date of January 89. So he's been on the shelf almost a whole year. And, I love this cover. This is Kevin Nolan. Did I say his name?
Nolan. Oh, he's amazing.
I don't even know how to describe the style. It's so stylistic. It's got kind of Mignola kind of notes to it, kind of postmodern, scratchy greatness. Like we have the Gray Hulk running towards us, the viewer, as the werewolf in a much more the Howling form of a werewolf, an erect wolf. He's jumping on his back out in the desert in the night, and there's beautiful highlights from the moon off camera, and there's some neat highlights of purple coming up from the desert. But I really love this kind of muted palettes of these blues and purples. It's kind of moody and monochromatic, and with all the grays, striking stuff. What do you guys think, Justin? What do you think of this one?
It's kind of like for me, it was like a callback to Frankenstein versus the Wolfman in the old Universal days. And that immediately I was like, yeah, that's perfect. It's so good. And I love Kevin Nolan stuff. Just for me, he can do no wrong. I think he's perfect. Yeah.
So Russ, before Jacob gives us hopefully a little bio dive into Kevin Nolan, because I don't actually know, I know his name and I know I like him when I see him, but I don't know much about him. So do you have something loaded after Russ pipes off?
I do.
Nice. Okay, so Russ, give me your 2 cents on this cover.
Oh, I think it's great. It almost has like a cell shading type thing. I think that's probably a term mostly associated with video games, but it almost has like a like a Wind Waker look, Matt. It's kind of really animated, but also it's really gothic. And I don't know, that purple hue in the background really sets the mood, because like it gives off this eeriness and this isolation, to where it's just like these two monsters they've never met before, and they're about to go at it. but it's got a somberness to them to it because these two they're pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both kind of tragic figures in their own way, definitely.
I've always, like, Stan Lee said that, he based the Hulk off a combination of Jekyll and Hyde and Frankenstein, and that is, obvious. But to me, the Hulk, his true like kinship is Larry Talbot and the Wolfman. Like, the science part of it isn't there for the Wolfman, but the tragedy is there because Dr. Jekyll, depending on how you want to say it, he created his monster and he became that monster on purpose. Dr. Frankenstein built his monster and brought it to life without its consent, basically. Bruce Banner tragically became this monster by trying to save someone's life, much like Larry Talbot.
He didn't have a choice in his transformation at all.
Yeah, and he's had to deal with it. And the Hulk either always wants to be left alone or tries to find a way to kill himself. And that was kind of Larry Talbot's thing in the later Wolfman appearances, is he just wanted to die.
Yeah.
So I think
the curse.
Yeah, I think they're kindred spirits. I mean, I know that Jack Russell is not Larry Talbot, but he's definitely got that Lon Chaney Jr. DNA in there.
Yeah. I did neglect to mention that there's below the Incredible Hulk logo, there is a circle with a painfully late 80s teal background and then a hot pink stabby kind of bubble letters that say versus Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Very much like a Swatch watch face. I want to put you in time and place specifically to remember this post Miami Vice.
I think I remember a lot of T-shirts with that color combination in 1989.
Yeah, body glove shirts were everywhere, all that shit. OP. Okay, Jacob, hit me to Kevin Nolan stuff.
Well, yeah, Kevin Nolan has been around Marvel for, 5 or 6 years. About 6 years. His first issue for Marvel was Doctor Strange 57. That's in February of 83. That was part of that great Roger Stern run of the 80s, which I think is my first Doctor Strange run. I did start picking it up in the 80s, right around that time. So I think that was probably... Yeah, that might have been my first exposure to Kevin Nolan. He's super respected in the industry. He kind of does everything. He's a penciler, inker, letterer, designer, and he did character designs for animation. I think most notably for Batman the Animated Series. He did the designs for Man-Bat, the Penguin, and the Mad Hatter. And his credits are vast. Like if you look, his GCD is really long, and there is a ton of fucking covers that he has done from when he started in 83 all the way up till now. I mean, he's still working today, penciling and full issues and doing covers. So yeah, but he's called an artist a lot of times. Like he's one of those guys that the artists really, really love and respect. He also seems like a super nice guy, one of those Archie Goodwin types that just everyone loves. So and I love this cover. I love how stylized he is, and it's strange, and I think his style is super unique. I can't really compare it to anyone's.
Yeah, I agree.
I was struggling as well. I mean, there's things I can, reference. Like I said, like, there's a little bit of Mignola here or there, or a little bit of whatever, but like, this guy does not easily replace anybody by any means.
And the posing is very Kirby, but it's kind of got that, Kirby's always doing like the weird contortion, but yeah, it's
interesting
really unique
too, because if you look at one of the werewolf's hands, there's claws on one hand, and on the other, it doesn't look like there's claws on the other. It's interesting. It looks the other hand. Shadow. Well, they're very good. It looks the other hand to me looks more human though. It's almost like he's still in mid transformation or something.
I do have to comment that The werewolf doesn't look like this in the comic.
No.
No, that is true. So I mean, I think that's technically that the cover did slightly lie to us that way. So I think we will have to take a drink, gentlemen.
It's niggling.
Here we go. Oh, let me break out my cookies.
What do you have there, Russell?
It is a simply spiked strawberry lemonade.
Nice,
not as good
winter drink.
Not as good as a Mike's Hard Lemonade, but it's fine. You know, hey. I've said off air many times I'm not much of a drinker, but yes. I wanted to drink to participate with the show.
Not
so
required, but encouraged. Justin, are you imbibing on anything?
I'm not a drinker really at all, but I am an edibles guy. So I have some lovely cookies that.
I'll take that too.
Should kick in a few minutes.
Right on. All right. Well, yeah. Let's waste no time then. Let's jump into the issue. So, our opening page. The title of our story is "Phasing Out," and our cast of creators are written by Peter David, pencils by Jeff Purvis, inks by Marie Severin, lettering by Joe Rosen, coloring by Glynis Oliver, edited by Bobby Chase, and mooned by Tom DeFalco. So, let's talk about some of these creators just a little bit. We're all really familiar with Peter David, as probably the greatest Hulk writer, even though, damn, Al Ewing, it's hard to not mention Al Ewing in that sentence anymore.
It
really is. Yeah. And who would have ever thought that Peter David would have even a close competition for greatest Hulk writer? But Al Ewing, man, it's tough.
Until Al Ewing, I mean, it had to be like Greg Pak as like a distant second. But you know,
I think so.
But yeah,
that Planet Hulk and like battle.
What did he do? World War Hulk? He did World War Hulk.
World War Hulk. Yeah.
Okay, that was a good run. That's a damn good run.
I like the old Roger Stern Hulk. He had a really brief run, but yeah, you can't compare that to Peter David and Al Ewing.
Yeah.
No,
and
not at all.
The length of time that Peter David was on the title too was substantial.
Yeah.
10 years.
That's huge. Has anybody really come close to as far as that length of tenure writing the Hulk? I don't consecutively.
No. Yeah, I don't even think. Not even Stan Lee, because I mean, the Hulk was canceled after 6 issues and came back in Tales to Astonish. I don't think Stan wrote a whole lot of those. I don't know. Definitely not 10 years worth.
10 years worth is a lot for any character, but what a great 10 years it was.
And those are backups too, so you have to do 20 years of backups to make up for 10 full years of
That's right. And a whole bunch of annuals.
Yeah. But I mean, the star of this issue is Jeff Purvis. So his little history on him, his first comic credit was November of '88 on Incredible Hulk 347, which is basically the first Joe Fixit story. It's the one that takes place right after the last issue that all of us went through, where it's the courtroom, and I think there's a fill-in artist on that. And then the issue right after that is Jeff's first, where we're in Vegas and we meet Joe Fixit. So he handled the art duties on Incredible Hulk from 347 until issue 366, which is in February of 1990. Then he quits comics to work full-time in animation. So I had to double check this. So you go to his GCD, you look at all of his credits. It's just Joe Fixit Hulk. That is it.
Wow. Oh, that's
that
cool.
is all of his comics credits. He wrote these issues, from 347 to 366. He did 2 backups in Marvel Comics Presents to 8-page Hulk stories. And aside from that is it. It's so cool. So
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's and maybe that's one of the things. I mean, I'm very biased. Joe Fixit was my first Hulk. I think he's one of the more interesting versions of the Hulk. It's something that I will talk all day and night about how much I love. But he's it's just so cool that vision for Joe Fixit was handled by one person who came up with the designs, who came up with the feel for this entire this entire section of the Hulk's history. So at the time, I think it's right around like starting in 89 or so. No, I think it actually is in 87. So while he's doing the Hulk, he's starting to work for Filmation. I think that was his first, one of his first animation gigs. He worked on every episode of this show called Brave Star. I don't know.
Yes, I remember Brave Star. Eyes of the Hawk.
I was just thinking about that show the other day.
Honestly, so I didn't watch that when it came out, but I don't know, maybe like 12 or 13 years ago, maybe even longer, like whenever that bill was passed to where it kind of opened up like the free TV thing where you'd have an antenna and you'd be able to pick up like MeTV and Comet and all that. And there was an animation channel on there and it showed Brave Star all the time. So I kind of got into it like as an adult. I was like, oh, this is stupid, but kind of cool. Like it's a Native American. It's a Native American marshal. For people that don't know, it's a Native American marshal in space in the future who has adventures on a planet named New Texas.
New Texas, folks. New Texas.
I didn't like the first Texas.
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of an awesome show. Like I don't know why, but I kind of got into it, and I actually thought it was really cool. And so
some great voice talent on that too.
There's some great toys for that show too.
Yeah, there were decent toys. That was definitely when I was aging out of like paying attention. I remember that specifically. Like Saturday mornings, I was kind of half watching. You know, eating cereal, but didn't really care. But I remember Brave Star being interesting enough to watch every weekend.
Yeah.
It's cool. And so he started out on that doing as a background artist. And that's pretty much what he's done exclusively in animation since. That's just been his gig. After he left comics, he just did background animation, and he worked on the Simpsons movie. He worked on a ton of like Disney movies, and so he's just done that ever since. He was one of those, you know, we talk about a lot of these old timers that worked in comics for decades and then got a gig doing animation. It was just like, what the fuck was I doing the last 20 years of my life? I work 1/10 of the time and get paid 100 times more than Stan Lee ever fucking paid me. And so I think Jeff just was a little smart. It was just like, no, I'm going to do this really cool Hulk run, and then I'm going to peace out and go make a living wage.
That's awesome, because like, you know, people like Steve Gerber who eventually got into animation, they had to go through 10 years of working in comics, and Purvis, you know, I worked on Hulk a few years and then I got into animation and made a lot more money. So
it's such a bummer though. I mean, like Gabe Hardman, like you have to beg him to come back and draw a comic book because he makes so much more money doing storyboards for Hollywood films, like stuff that no one's going to see outside of 50 people.
Well, that's what Plug did, you know. Plug wised up and then did designs for The Thing and Dark Crystal and shit, and made a ton of money. Yeah. So but also how fucking cool. I mean, aside from that, Purvis got this really cool gig doing this super awesome version of the Hulk, and he had various inkers over the, I don't know how many issues, you know, like 17 issues or something. But his inker for a lot of those was Marie Severin. So again, like the guy just had such a cool fucking gig at Marvel. So, oh my God. I mean, we all know Marie Severin. We all love her. She is a fucking legend in comics.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So, and it was just so cool. Like I had to read, I read a bunch of, you know, alter ego articles and interviews with her. It's so much like her history. She was there for everything. Like she started out in comics as a colorist for EC. And there's a really good, if you want to check out an interview with her that's just about her EC time, you can just look up, you know, do a Google search of Marie Severin EC Comics, and there's a Comics Journal interview. I think it's from around 1986. It's all about her time at EC, and that's it. Like it just covers that, and it's really, really cool. There's a funny thing. She talked about that when EC needed to find like an in-house colorist. She said that her brother John got her the job by saying, "What about my sister? She's not that dumb."
Oh.
I was like,
progressive for back then.
Yeah. You're right. That is for 1950 whatever. That probably is fairly progressive. But yeah, nice, right? But she colored a crazy amount of comics for EC, like just I mean from the beginning, from a lot of the horror stuff that they're most known for. She was there for a little bit after the Senate hearings. The Comics Code comes in. EC starts doing their new line that is sanitized and not great. And so she worked for him basically for the entire time. So yeah, after EC basically folded, she went to work for Stan Lee when he was running Atlas, which is the pre-Marvel Marvel. And then she worked there for a little while, and then the Atlas implosion happened, which led to mass firings. And then she left there, and I think she went to work for a major bank, weirdly enough, doing at their art department, doing drawings for checks and different in-house stuff. And so then after that, she moved back to Marvel, where she was in charge of coloring throughout the 60s before she turned that over to someone, Matt, you and I know very well, George Rousseau, who I think he took over by the early 70s. And she did that so she could focus on penciling and inking, which she was doing a lot more by the 70s. She started in the 60s, I think, first replacing Bill Everett on Doctor Strange, I think in the mid 60s. And from then she illustrated so many amazing comics and just a bunch of cool stuff throughout the 70s. I had forgotten, even though I think, Matt, you and I talked about this when we were going through the Spider-Woman run. She co-created Spider-Woman with Archie Goodwin, came up with the original design, and that was in 1976. So, I mean, I love all of her artwork. I mean, she's so great. I have a weird soft spot. So she did this thing, I think just for fun. And then later on, a little more formally, she would draw the Christmas cards and birthday cards for Marvel. And they're really, really cool. You can find them online. She did a lot of portraits of artists throughout her tenure, from EC all the way into the 70s. There's a great drawing that she did in the Atlas era of what were called the Three Musketeers, who were the kind of the big drinking buddies of the Atlas era, which was her brother Joe, Joe Maneely, and Bill Everett. And her portraits are so warm and beautiful and very loving. And I'll try and find some of them so I can put them on our feed.
Yeah, I'd love to see some of those.
Yeah, they're really, really, really cool. So cool. Yeah, I mean, it's so neat to see her and comparing to the other issues that Jeff did, and he had other inkers and those inkers were fine, but Marie she was just so good and it worked for so long at this point that I really, really loved. I don't know. I love her inks. I love that she worked on this issue, and I love that we got to chat about her a little bit.
I like she really enhances Purvis's pencils to me like 1,000-fold. Like,
definitely.
I love, he's got a raw thing going on. Like the first issue came on, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like I was really taken aback by it, the switch in art, and then I grew to love it within an issue or two. But at this point, I don't know if he's just refining his style or if that's her inking his pencils, but like this issue is fucking gorgeous. Like really I liked his stuff up through now, and this issue I was absolutely in love with it.
What a great so pairing cool. for the werewolf too to appear in this issue. What a great subject for Marie's talent as well.
Yeah.
So back to our opening page. This is such a cool page. Like it's a killer, like full page illustration of a cliff whose face is the screaming Hulk with a howling wolf on top of his head. Like, man, I would love to own this original art. It would just, this is one of those, dream lists of actually owning this page. And in typical Peter David style, like the narration is so cool. It reads, the mournful howl of the coyote hangs suspended in the brisk night air of the desert. An eerie sound, almost human in its sadness. But if the coyote knew what stalked this night, it would not be howling. It would be screaming. So such a cool opening page.
So good. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't even notice that it was the Hulk's face, and I had to look at it a second time, and I was like, "Oh, there's Joe," because you're drawn to the. I guess technically that's the coyote and the moon, but that's you're drawn to that, and you kind of miss out that that's the Hulk's face.
And the colors are great here too. The orange of the moon and kind of the purple hue of the coyote, and the kind of weird earth tones of the rock. It's so good. The whole
There's
page
something
beautiful,
unnatural or abnormal in a pleasing way about the color palette in this.
Yeah.
Glynis Oliver. Do we know her, Jacob? Him? I mean,
well, Glynis Oliver was Glynis Wein, who
that was
Larry
okay.
Delane
I didn't know if that
for
was
a
like a
long
name
time.
change. Did they separate and then she went by her? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I guessed, because you don't hear Glynis a whole bunch.
No.
One thing I love about this opening page here is it reminded me a lot of the Plug era of Werewolf by Night, when those first pages would be like something like this, where the werewolf is in the clouds or something like that, as they're opening to reveal the full moon or something. Like, I love those Eisnerian little kind of things like that, where it's putting the characters into the environment like that, like literally.
There was a lot of that with the shadow in comics too, where you'd see him like looming over the city or something in the first page of the story.
We'd always refer to those as the kaiju villain, because it's usually whoever the villain is, like, not literally but figuratively looming over the upcoming story.
There's those great, like, it seems like Doctor Doom is the poster boy for that, because there's so many covers where he's like over the city, like with his hand over a building, and you're like, oh, Doctor Doom gets giant in this issue. No, he doesn't. It's just for effect,
just figuratively. Because that's how he is over Latveria all the time. So the next page we have this glorious little sequence here, and it was so nice getting back into Peter David's writing. The coyote picks up a scent, and he starts chasing after a small morsel, mostly bones, but, out in the desert, you can't be a picky and choosy eater. So he's dashing off after this Geococcix californianus, which, as we realize in the next panel here, this is very much Looney Tunes come to life. This is a real-life Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. And so the coyote's bolting after it, and he catches up to it and says, until the unreal reared its fanged head. And we see in the last panel, both the Roadrunner and the coyote are surprised by something they are run into as they're having their own little drama go on. And it's the werewolf. And we see this black and white little panel at the bottom as they turn tail and chase in the opposite direction together to get away from, in silhouette, the werewolf, who has some long scraggly fur around his gauntlets and his calves and the back of his head. So he's very kind of I don't want to say cattish, but he's different in this one, which I like to see.
He reminds me of the original costume for Sabretooth, like when Sabretooth made his first appearances in like Iron Fist, and he had like the fur around his ankles and his wrists. But this, this page is great. I love it. I got flashbacks of that Animal Man issue.
I know, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Coyote Bible or something, whatever it was called.
Yeah, I think so.
The art on here from Jeff, though, is gorgeous. Like, it's very naturalistic, kind of photorealistic, which I'm not used to seeing from him as much.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to draw animals really well in comics and make them look well on the page. And I think with the coyote, he made it look really great.
Yeah, especially that last panel. My God, I don't know what it is about that, but also just the chance, the choice to not use any color in that last panel, to just have it be black and white it's so striking.
Definitely.
I assume they just did that for the effect of it, but I can't help but wonder if that was a nod to Universal, black and white panel. But I'd say it's just the strikingness of it.
Yeah, visually it's really stunning, but
I like to kind of imagine that's the moon, and the white is the moon, and so everything in front of it is in shadow because of its luminance.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, on the next page, we get more narration. It is so great. So the narration reads: the crunching sounds, the sounds of marrow being sucked and muscles snapped and chewed like licorice. These have ceased some hours ago. Only the hoarse, heavy breathing remains. The breathing of something made even less human because it was once fully human. So we get yet another very different version of the werewolf than we've seen before. This season, we've seen every single version that you could imagine that are so different, and sometimes they're so different even from month to month as Jack has made very small appearances. But so yeah, well, let's talk about the werewolf design. Let's talk about Jeff and Marie's werewolf design. I think personally, this is a grand improvement on the last few versions that we've seen. It's different. There's no clothes, dark red fur, normal size ears, which I think is a huge improvement. I think a lot of the times what we've complained about in the werewolf's design in previous episodes has been the ears. I think you were saying, Matt, that everyone's been trying to do Sienkiewicz's ears and has made them long and super weird and devilly, and it's never been good. But yeah, Matt, what do you think of the design?
I really like this, and I agree with you about the ears. It was nice to have those pulled in so it doesn't look like Norm Brayfogle drawing a pimp hat, like a feather in a pimp hat, because they were getting like 3 feet long at one point, and it's by artists who are not anywhere near Sienkiewicz's caliber. So it got rough there for a couple issues. I think you and I are both kind of groaning through a lot of those depictions.
For sure.
But, yeah, this one, I mean, he has no real fur to speak of on the majority of his body, but around his head, like we said, below the elbows and knees, he has this long, scraggly fur, and he has a very canine face. I really like it. I think it's awesome. He doesn't have clothes on, like he said. He does tomorrow. I don't know how he got out of them today, but he's Starker's running around stark naked tonight. But I really dig this, and I could stick with this design for a while and be completely happy.
I mean, I think it looks better in some panels than others, and I mean, I can't explain why I think that necessarily, but definitely the close-ups and these panels where he's just hauling ass towards something is just really effective. And like you said, this is a major upgrade to what he looked like in West Coast Avengers, and it's still not as good as Sienkiewicz, but I mean, I really dig it too. And I love this panel at the bottom left where he's holding the rabbit, and it looks like Saturn devouring his son.
Totally, nice reference.
And yeah, I think
Goya.
this. Oh man, I love Goya. So fucked up. But the werewolf has something in this issue and this first full page that he hasn't had in a while, and that's some scary. Like, he's got some horror to him for the first time in a while.
He's a monster again for the first time this season. It feels like almost.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't like the depiction of the West Coast Avengers issues. I usually like pretty much everything that Al Milgrom does, but I couldn't get behind the depiction of the werewolf in that. I like this design because for me, I really liked the color of that design, which was kind of like this auburn, almost with kind of like a crimson hue to it in the fur. I really liked that, and I wish that they had kept that more. But this is kind of like a merging of the classic look and the newer Bill Sienkiewicz look to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like how like we said, he's wild again.
Yeah.
So he's just eating a coyote's guts, and he hears a little, scrabble of rock and turns around, and the way he's loping after this jackrabbit, like he's like Hank McCoy, like the way he, like he runs like a dog, like with his, his legs are up in the air in front of his arms, like at his points, like it's so physical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really great. And so, yeah, he catches this jackrabbit and is about to devour it, but he hears something else that catches his attention over the rise and goes to investigate. And
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, even even small panels like that last one, I really think that everyone was doing their best work on that last panel. It doesn't seem significant, but the colors, the gradation, the angle, the storytelling, even in that tiny thing, I don't know why. I really focused in on that. I thought that there was something really beautiful about it.
Yeah, I love that last panel, and also the panels that showed kind of like the dead coyote. Those stuck with me too afterwards, because it shows just kind of what life was like out in the desert when you have a werewolf running around.
You know who else liked those? Grant Morrison.
Oh,
yes, he did.
And Jacob, you read this narration from the beginning of after the hunt's over, and that kind of morbid description of sinew being chewed like licorice and stuff like that. My only note for this page was Peter David has entered the chat. It was so nice having his prose. I was like, oh God, that's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just so refreshing to have an issue of this caliber compared to a lot of the rote shit that we've had to deal with in the last couple weeks. Like this is a great issue of comics, and it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. So on the next page, we see the beast has crested the hill, and he's followed that sound he heard, and we see who it is. It is Joe Fixit, down sitting on the ground, and he's having a conversation. It's Bruce and Joe having a kind of a confrontational conversation between themselves. Bruce does not want to, he wants Joe to leave Marlowe alone. This is his girlfriend that he met from when he was in Vegas, right? It was like his boss's wife's friend that he got set up with, and they kind of fell in love. And then they broke up recently. And so Joe wants to go see her, and Bruce is like, no. And so they're having this kind of internal conflict where he's just like seething with this frustration. He says, I'm not going to let things sit the way they ended. And if you do something about it, if you don't do something about it, I will. And so this is going to come up later in the issue, this warring between the two of them in their current state. But the Hulk is distracted by this argument with himself. And so the werewolf jumps on him from behind, thump. And he's like, oh. And Bruce says, Hulk, what's happening out there? Which I thought was hilarious. The werewolf has tried to sink his fangs into his thick gray hide, which is probably not going to work. But then he grabs onto his neck with his claws, and it says, rip switch. So he's just raking. I think his claws are breaking off. I don't know. But then you just have this solid black panel with white. Yeah.
He at least gave him a wet willy.
Yeah. I originally thought like his claws had actually went into Hulk's skin, but now I'm seeing that the kind of the broken nails there, and it's less gruesome than I thought, but still, like, he's definitely got a finger in Hulk's ear there.
That's what I was wondering. I was just like, well, maybe at least if he really like dug that claw in deep into Hulk's ear, I mean, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So who's yelling on that last panel?
Well, that's the true question, right?
they both are
in unison.
Yeah, I just love this page. I mean, I almost love every single page of this comic. Like, this is, I don't know, Purvis just his version of the Hulk, Joe Fixit, just looks so much different. I mean, obviously, it's drawing from the original 6 issues of the Hulk. It's drawing from Ditko. It's drawing from all of these different things. And but his expressions, the way that he shows emotion, I honestly think at this point we had never ever seen a version of the Hulk like this. Like, this is radically different than any version that we've ever seen. And we're getting near the end of his run, of the Joe Fixit run. And I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I know people like it. I know people like this run. I know they like Jeff's art. I know people, talk fondly about Joe Fixit in like a nostalgic way, but I really think from a storytelling way, like, this is such a unique version of the Hulk. I mean, Russ, Justin, you guys are Hulk experts. You're as expert as they get. Like, am I crazy here?
No, I mean, this one of the more unique takes on the Hulk, and definitely one of the most beloved. I would say definitely, the kids that grew up in the 80s, like you guys, this is the Hulk. Like, this is the definitive Hulk, and it always will be. And every time he comes back, you see people cheering.
It's a big event.
like-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big event when he comes back.
And I mean, he's just, I think we talked about this when you guys were on Gamma Charge. He's just that lovable asshole. He is just a dick. Like, he has a heart of gold, but he is a dick. He's like like Raphael in the TMNT. He's just like, everyone seems to love him because he's a dick.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is one of the changes in the 80s that worked. Like, they changed a lot of the main characters in the 80s. A lot of the mainstay characters, rather, of Marvel in the 80s. And this is one of the changes that actually worked for a while and stuck for a number of years. Whereas some of the other ones, they changed after maybe a year or two. This one lasted quite a while. And yeah, I love it. I love Joe Fixit so much. I thought that some of the stories during this era were some of the strongest Hulk stories, period.
Yeah, I mean, we've had good narratives even before the Peter David run. I mean, you know, in Burns' run and different things that came before, they were exploring different avenues of the Hulk. The Hulk as, you know, and his trauma and his childhood trauma and things like that. But as far as just versions of the Hulk, it really, his personality really hadn't changed much since the 60s, like Hulk Smash Army, you know, Hulk One Friend, you know, it was basically just those same tropes over and over again. And Banner got interesting, Banner got different things, but I really think it was Joe Fixit that helped the Hulk persona grow. And so, that's, I know I'm going off on it again. So,
it's kind of funny too that, like, I mean, the original 6-issue run, Joe Fixit is the closest that we had gotten to the Hulk. You know, he was just an asshole the first few issues. He was just
exactly.
he was literally just a different personality.
I mean, I guess retroactively, those first 6 issues, that is Joe. Like,
in my opinion, it is. Yeah.
I mean, by issue 2, he's green, so that, you know, makes it a little fuzzy. But, you know, that's Joe Fixit's personality. So, I will just say about Jeff Purvis's art here, like, Jacob, you mentioned that he kind of took the best of some of the previous artists and made it his own. I really think that he took what McFarlane had done and streamlined it and made it palatable.
Because I totally agree, Russ. I really do. Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that too.
No, he knew how to use an eraser. Took out half the lines.
Reined in all of the excesses. Yeah.
I like some of McFarlane's ideas for the Hulk, but I don't think the execution was there. And I think Purvis takes those ideas and just really rings them in. Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the next page, I like this, and this is what's so cool is just the Hulk and the Joe Fixit and Banner fighting with themselves as they're fighting. Because in this first panel, the Banner side is telling Hulk, like, Hulk, do something. The change, you know, he's like, the change is happening, and Hulk's like, shut up, just shut up. Like, I'm fighting here. I'm fighting a werewolf, for fuck's sake. Like, just chill out for a little bit. And Jack slams into the Hulk in that fourth panel, which is just awesome. Like, Jack's doing good. I mean, I know he's not doing a ton of damage, but he's doing good in a fight with the fucking Hulk.
The fact that he knocked the Hulk onto the ground, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal. This is
a huge deal for Jack Russell. I mean, my God, you know, any time that he can kind of be powered, we are in love with that. So.
Yeah, this one's for Brad Elmore.
Yeah, exactly. Holding his own with the Hulk, Brad. Come on, give him some credit.
Now, I know what he'll say. He'll be like, "Oh, it's the Gray Hulk. He ain't as strong, so it doesn't count." But
counts in my world.
Yeah. And then I love those last 3 panels at the bottom where Jack is just on top of the Hulk and ready to tear his throat out. You know, which I know. Again, he's not going to do any damage. We know that, but I'm really impressed. And then that final panel, Hulk's just like, "You mangy flea bag, I'm warning you."
I love that. You mangy flea bag. I love that.
Great fight page here. And Like that first panel, I love how you were saying, Banner's saying, do something that changes, it's about to become daylight and we're going to be fucked. And he lashes out at Banner internally, but physically at the werewolf. So it's this double thing. And the next panel is like, shut up, just shut up. And he body slams the werewolf, which is when I take a sip of
drink to that.
Oh, yeah.
And and so like we said, the werewolf slams into him and kind of slams him down on the ground. I don't know if that's technically a body slam. I'm not.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
So the sun is about to rise, and Hulk says he's warning you. On the next page, we have this beautiful panel of a spring-loaded sunrise just going boing over the hillside. In the colorist credit, it went from blue to purple over the last couple pages, so it has been rising.
Mm-hmm.
But Hulk's still on the ground. He's like, you don't know who you're messing with. I'm the Incredible Hulk. And meanwhile, the werewolf has this great drawing of him, like his head whipping around, raising up his claws at the sun, like, no. Like, I was just about to kill and eat this thing. You weren't, Jack. But, he thinks he's caught it and he's going to kill it. And so he just bolts and runs. And Hulk's like, huh? Like, how about that? I should have said that right off the bat. Before he said right off the bat, he starts changing too. So we have this beautiful panel where the werewolf jumped on one side of a boulder, the Hulk's on the other side, and they're both parallel, like turning back into themselves, going, just like struggling with this rehumanizing from their monstrous forms, unaware the other is there doing it.
I love it so much. And that first panel where he whips around and sees the sun, that's
so good.
Fantastic. It's so good.
Yeah, that bottom panel should just be labeled the duality of man.
Yeah.
That's just, and I have to say, I don't know why, but it just triggered something in my memory banks. But the werewolf here, when he sees the sun and he starts, he's kind of waving his arms around. It reminded me of two things. One, those weird woolly scarecrows in the original Planet of the Apes that they had like strung up, and they were like,
yeah,
okay.
That's
right.
And but also when Obi-Wan rescues Luke from the Tusken Raiders, and he's like waving his arms around, going,
oh yes.
That's awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
So we get another great kind of duality panel at the beginning of the next page. It's so cool. I love what Peter David has done here. So he's showing both Jack and Bruce like kind of running away from each other, both thinking, I don't know what that monster was, but I'm getting the heck out of here.
It's so good.
It's so awesome. And of course they can't see each other. But then we switch focus to Jack, who thinks and kind of tells us a little bit about what's going on. So I'm going to read a bit of his thoughts. He's like, good going, Jack. You come all the way out to the Nevada desert so that you can be away from your loved ones when the werewolf transformation reaches its worst at the full moon. So we're getting confirmation that this is 80s Jack, so he can change whenever he wants, but the full moon, those 3 days, he's not in control, and so he's still wanting to go somewhere to where he can't, murder Buck again or something. So, he wants to. So he's like, yeah, you wind up attacking like, what was it? I can barely remember through the werewolf's haze. He's like, whatever it was, Jack Russell has more than enough blood on his hands, claws, whatever. So he finds a kind of an abandoned building. He's like, okay, I got to go chain myself up here. And hopefully, I think he calls it, he's like, oh, this bunker for atomic testing or something. And he says, it looks like it hasn't been used in ages. He just needs to find some chain. He's going to chain himself up and he'll be safe for another night.
Naked.
Yep, totally naked.
I didn't realize until I re-looked at this page. Like, oh yeah, he actually was naked.
Oh yeah, he's totally naked.
Good thing he's
I'm glad Peter David actually did some research on Jack Russell, because I think this characterization is a nice progression of what we know.
He's been a sock puppet the last like 4 or 5 episodes. So.
Yeah.
I mean, this doesn't explain to Jacob or to me why he left the night shift, because that was a solution to this problem back in LA. But who knows? I don't know when he left the night shift. I know he did not too long after this era. But, because the next time we see him in West Coast Avengers, I think that he's gone and they've replaced him with somebody else. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Unfortunately, the night shift doesn't last too long in general. I don't think it's just
not really.
No.
Yeah, they haven't appeared nearly enough. Yeah.
In recent years, they've tried to revive it a little bit, but in fact, I'm not too convinced that Jed McKay's not building up something with the night shift, because he keeps using people from the night shift in his books.
That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah. But
if you're listening, Jed, we would approve of that.
Yes.
Wholeheartedly.
We need some more tatterdemalion.
Yeah.
Yes. And Gypsy Moth.
Yes, I do like Gypsy Moth. She grew on me over this season. So this next page, we get a new character. He's George, or some of the folks call him the Old Indian in these here parts. He's got an old broken down truck. He's driving around. It says, over the years, George has seen his friends die off one by one. So he's in the old first American. He has only one friend now. And when I read this the first time, I was like, oh, God, I think I know where this is going. Yeah. He's like, a coyote. One who has represented good luck. Who has been his own personal totem. Like, oh, Peter, you bastard.
Yeah.
You could have set this up, huh? Cosmic irony. He's like, one who did its hunting in this area and usually returned home by now. In many ways, George has felt his fate is linked with the coyotes. And in the foreground of this panel, we see coyote legs and ribs just sticking up in the sun, baking. And he slams the brakes on and he just says, oh, no. Which is sad. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's like super sad.
Oh, it is sad.
Like his only friend in the middle of nowhere, and all of his, he's like the last of his res or whatever. Then we cut back to Las Vegas, and Marlo is trying to get out of work because she's upset, but she says she has a fever and she can't work. She has a fever of 98.7, very dangerous. So I forgot the name of her roommate, something with an M. Mona, thank you. It's like, come on, get real,
Man, the Peter David is the master of like giving minor characters something to do and making it simultaneously horrific and hilarious.
Right.
and like, think about that whole Gamma Bomb situation where that last issue, we were just basically in the lives of all those people that were about to die.
Yeah.
And there was just these minor characters getting all this character development. Like Peter David, like, slow down. How many books are you writing this month?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of while you're saying that, though. I was like, yeah, all those little vignettes into these people's lives in this town we know is going to blow up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're getting attached to all these people who are going to die.
There's faces and names to
or
these
at least
people
be
now.
Changed forever.
Yeah. So on the next page, Marlo is just kind of explaining. She says she hated how things ended with Joe. She has no idea how to contact him or Bruce. And yeah, she's like, and I don't know where Bruce got to. And then we switch to a Yucca Flats testing facility where Bruce is pretending to be a janitor. And this is great. So I like like a scientist Bruce is obviously kind of, not sweeping up like he's supposed to. And he's looking at the readouts on the panels. And a scientist is like, excuse me there with the broom. Can I help you with something? And Bruce obviously isn't thinking. And he's like, oh, I was just noticing the rad level was elevated, but the auto safeties kick in anyways. And then scientist is like, well, so it is. Most impressive for a janitor, Mr. And Bruce is like, Bancroft. And then the scientist kind of like whips his head around. He's like, you're not a janitor at all, are you? Yeah, very, very accusatory there.
Can you guys remind me, has Bruce been has he been like staying low since the Gamma Bomb incident? Like,
yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the majority of the public doesn't know that Bruce or the Hulk survived that at this point.
Yeah, at this point they still think he's dead. Yeah,
because he just went to New York and met Spider-Man as Joe Fixit, and Peter kind of figured it out, right? Like I think, yeah. Mm-hmm. But okay, so this Bancroft thing is just a thing he cooked up as a way to get a job and a paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got two. He's got a job as Bruce and a job as Joe, and like gets no sleep. Obviously, I just about died when it said Yucca Flats.
I
just about pissed myself.
That's hilarious.
Justin and I did a Patreon episode about the Beast of Yucca Flats, and wow, what a film that is.
Oh, it's hilarious. Oh.
It is good. I hope you watched the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version and not just watched it cold by itself.
No, we watched it cold.
We watched it cold.
Yeah,
but the Mystery Science Theater one is great too.
It is hilarious.
Yes.
And I also have to just say that Bruce kind of does what Dr. Frankenstein did in the Hammer series, where he cooks up a new name, but it still has his old name in it.
Yes,
it's like I'm pretty sure in the sequel, Hammer Frankenstein, his name was Dr. Frank. And then in the next one, it was Dr. Stein. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
What, Smith is no good? You don't like Smith?
Yeah.
Is Bancroft, is this one of those things that people do also? It's like a terrible choice where it's like, that's your mom's maiden name, you dum-dum. Like, anybody putting this into a Shield computer would figure this out in like 3 seconds.
That's right.
Yeah, stop using your email password.
So this guy is obviously on to this janitor who knows way too much about radiation and whatever. So he's like, you're not a janitor at all, are you? He's like, no, I'm not. I prefer sanitation engineer. And I remember this took me back to like, oh, that's right. This is when the term PC came up and people would be saying, you know, like, oh, whoa, so you're not a gas pumper, you're a petroleum distribution engineer.
Customer service representative.
Yeah. Just sent me hurtling back through the decades.
I don't know why that tickled me, but
so he says, if you'll excuse me, he's thinking to himself, I got to be more careful as he's sweeping away. He's like, that's the most excitement I've had in weeks since returning from LA. You know, the Hulk's been fairly calm and blah, blah. So he's thinking about, I like this where he's saying, like, I'm here, like, trying to find a way to cure the Hulk. And then he realizes, I wonder if there's like, could it be the Hulk's driving me and making me cure Banner? Is that on this page? Might be. I might have skipped ahead a little bit there.
It's
close to here. It's one of those.
I did. Sorry, my apologies.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I'll just pick that up then. There. So he's I don't remember what this Grand Canyon thing was either. Where he's saying whatever that event was, the Grand Canyon, and the Hulk blocked it out. Is that when he was confronted about the pregnancy, or is that? This is all out of order, huh?
Actually, I'm not sure, Justin.
The Grand Canyon. I'm coming up with a blank on that one too. There's a few issues right before this that I'm missing, so maybe that happened in that.
Yeah, because he's thinking something happened before that at the Grand Canyon. I think the Hulk's blocking it from me, but it definitely affected him. I think that was the conversation that he had with her, and where she revealed she was pregnant to him and kind of said, "Oh, okay, we got to all learn to live together, you and Bruce and me." Like,
I thought it was something.
I don't know.
I thought maybe that's where him and Marlo had broken up or something, but maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. I'll turn in my Hulk expert card.
Okay. Bruce somehow managed to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
No, that's okay. There's a 4-part story right before this that I'm missing, and something could have happened during that. I think Iron Man was in that, and a whole bunch of stuff happened.
God.
So it's possible that that happened during that.
So Bruce somehow aced this interview to push a broom, and he's in here and he's hoping to have access to the equipment to find a cure for his condition. And then he's referring to that opening scene where he's fighting with the Hulk and saying, you know, I'm asserting myself now. You know, the Hulk's trying to make me get in touch with Marlo, but I'm not going to do it. And then all of a sudden he just falls forward going, ah! As he's thinking that, he has a splitting headache. He's like, can't even stand up. Where's a phone? So yeah, not so assertive.
So we have a listener that has actual DID, dissociative identity disorder, and I would love to ask them. It's like, is this accurate? Because they claim that a lot of Peter David writing is very accurate to actual DID, but I feel like giving one of your alters a headache and trying to take them over, I don't think that's quite there. But
it's
it
more
definitely makes
than DID.
it makes for a more interesting story, obviously.
Yeah, so we realize on the next page that Bruce as Hulk as Joe is basically forcing Bruce to call up Marlo, saying that he just wanted to make sure she was all right. And she's like, Bruce, I never thought I'd hear from you again. And then as he's talking to her on the phone, Bruce is thinking, oh, just hearing her voice has made the headache vanish. Incredible. And he ends up telling her, yeah, I'm fine. I've got a job out at a radiation testing lab in Yucca Flats. And he's like, what do you mean you're coming out right now? Hello? And so once she heard the words radiation lab in Yucca Flats, she immediately runs out the door. Like, I don't know. It looks like she's still in a robe or something. Like it doesn't even look like she put shoes on or anything. But she, I love we get a little ka-slam. And so she just takes off. And then Bruce is like, oh, this is marvelous. I tried to assuage the Hulk with the sound of her voice, and I played right into his hands. And this is where it gets interesting. Yeah, where you were talking about, Matt, how he says, how did he do that? How did he affect me that way? I didn't think he had that kind of mental strength. But then why does he let me work here searching for and then he's like, wait, what if I have it backwards? Like, what if I'm not searching for a cure to the Hulk? What if the Hulk is searching for a cure to Banner? And so, it's such a cool thing. And again, I mean, that it's stuff that Al Ewing takes and runs with it in his run.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the Al Ewing, or I should say Peter David walks so Al Ewing could run.
That's right.
Because Al Ewing basically takes a lot of Peter David stuff and just makes it his own. I will just one more comment. I feel like I'm talking so much. Justin, you got to chime in.
Oh, no.
But I find it ironic that Banner now has the job that the leader had.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That went over my head.
Right?
Yeah, and the mustache. He's got the same strands of mustache.
Oh, that is rich. I really like that. So on the next page, we cut out to the desert sun, and we see, the sun's rising, so time's passing, and then Bruce looks at a clock, and he's like, where the hell is Marlo? There's only one radiation lab in Yucca Flats. How long could it be to get out here? And then we cut to her. She has swerved to avoid hitting a cute little animal, a jackrabbit, and she hit a giant cactus.
A cactus? Who knew that a cactus could implode the front of somebody's car like that, too? Do you think that you would just shear it right in half with that vehicle that size? I don't know. That's a good point. Aren't they mostly hollow?
Yeah. I thought they had water inside of them.
Well, inside they're thick. They have like a thick skin, right? But the most of the interior is hollow, I think. So she's out there thinking, I'm screwed. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I screwed up my roommate's car. And then she sees George's truck coming. And she's like, oh, I'm so lucky you came along. She's like, you can't believe the day I'm having. And he's like, same here. First, find something killed my pet coyote. And then someone stole my extra tow chain from my service station, which is Jack's handiwork. We cut to inside that abandoned facility, and Jack has barred the door, and he's piling up crates and things in front of it in preparation for nightfall. Not a lot to say on this page. Sorry. I like to imagine a guy showing up at work with a fake mustache on, and all of these scientists are just pretending that it's not a fake mustache. Like, how you doing today, Bruce? Oh, good. Okay.
Marlo with her best April O'Neil outfit.
Yeah, I love that. Right in the desert, some bright yellow. Why not?
Hey, I gotta say though, this is I feel like Marlo in the first couple issues when we meet her, she looks very 80s. Her hair is really big. She looks like a weightlifter from the 80s. And I love she's softened in this issue. And I don't know if that's an actual choice by Jeff or not, but I mean, he created Marlo, so I would figure that he would have this kind of input. And yeah, you're right. It's just she has a much softer tone in this. Her hair is not as gigantic. It's interesting. It's an interesting choice. It's one I like.
What about so I read this interview with Peter David where I forgot the blog is, where they asked like these big questions or like tackle these urban legends about comic stuff. And they said, there's always been a rumor that Marla was a call girl for Joe and that they fell in love and that was changed by editorial. Can you confirm or deny that? And Peter David said that was the case. She was supposed to be a working girl. So I wonder if that's like the original character designs came from that kind of stuff. And they just kind of kept drawing her that way at first because so I don't know what's close to a prostitute, aerobics instructor.
Well, in the 80s, I mean,
it's still the 80s. So yeah.
Shoulder pads everywhere.
And, she's going to stick around for pretty much the rest of Peter David's run. I mean, she eventually gets with Rick Jones.
They get married and
and there's a whole situation with her and the leader. we won't get into that here, but she's a pivotal character, and you don't really hear anything out of her anymore.
Yeah, it's too bad. I always loved Marla. I always thought she was a really cool character.
Me too. Yeah.
But on the next page, Marlo calls Bruce from, I guess you'd call it a garage. It just looks like a couple of shacks, like duct taped together.
Carport.
Yeah, it's a carport.
That looks like the place from the original The Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah,
totally.
So she suggests dinner, but he tells her like, no, let's make it tomorrow. I gotta go. It's getting late. And Bruce is hauling ass. We see on the next page he's hauling ass in this great looking car to he's trying to get home before the change, but to no avail. In the in that bottom panel, in that bottom right panel, he's starting to Hulk out of his clothes. He's like, no, not yet. And then the other panel, the panel right to the side of it, we realize that the same thing is happening to Jack in his bunker.
I love the panel where the car screeches to a halt. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Might I make a suggestion? I believe one of the rules is a werewolf driving a car, you take a drink, but can we make an exception for the Hulk driving a car?
I was going to drink for Bruce being the jackass who doesn't pay attention to the time.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, waiting for Marlo so long. It's I'm apt to kill a bunch of people. Whatever.
Yeah. Sounds like a double drink to me.
Yeah.
So one thing that I really laughed about that I thought was clever is she's talking to George about her injured car, and she says, "Can you tell me how much longer it'll take to repair it?" Because she can't bring herself to say "fix it." I did not catch that the first time I read that. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny!"
Yeah, it's really cool.
So he's changing his car. Jack's trying to get out. Next page, we have a great panel of perfectly Jeff Purvis panel of Joe Fixit stalking towards us.
Love it.
And he's, talking back now saying, "Not such a tough guy now, are you, Banner? Interesting that I was able to hold back the change a few minutes this morning, but you couldn't even keep me in for a second," which is rad. Like, he had the ability to fight a werewolf off and keep Banner from breaking out. And Banner couldn't even, he's like, just wets his pants once he has to go pee. He couldn't even hold him in for a second. He's like, "Oh God, here he comes." He says that opens the door for all kinds of possibilities, doesn't it? So Joe's very excited about this little change of events. And then we cut back to the garage that has eyes. And she sees the coyote grave that he's dug. And she's like, "George, is this the grave for the coyote you told me about?" He's like, "Yep. Step back from it, miss. I haven't filled it in yet. And it'd be very bad luck if you fell in. Would mean an early grave for..." And then we hear coming from above him. So this guy's like, he's the king of jinx. Like, say something. And the universe will punch you in the nose as hard as possible.
This is the worst day of this guy's life.
Yeah.
Hope that wasn't built on a burial ground with some wendigos around, because sometimes dead is better, people.
Sometimes.
I don't believe that this guy would have a license from the state to actually have tanks of gas under the ground, like you have this structure here.
Yeah.
Next to Yucca testing facilities.
It's true.
It's down the road.
You never know when Tor Johnson's going to come out going,
Yeah. Push a button. Things happen.
So yeah, on the next page we realize that Jack is on the roof. So this I really loved the angles on the panels on this page. So guys, Matt and I did a watch along on our Discord of an episode of Baywatch Nights that featured a werewolf that was all terribly canted angles, and it was horrific cinematography wise. But this is perfection. Like I really liked the storytelling that these angles. I really feel like it added to the story a lot. It added to kind of the terror that's going on, because this is a fucking horrifying page. So, George is screaming, and Marlowe's like, "George, what's wrong?" And we realize that Jack has jumped down and has basically crushed George underneath the hood of the truck that he's working on. And Marlowe's like, "Did you slam the hood on your?" And then she's like, and we see George is like, "Help me!" And yeah, this giant werewolf is standing on him on the hood of this truck. And she's like, "Oh my, what are you? Keep away, keep away!" And yeah, she's running so fast her shoe falls off. And it's a great angle on that last panel, because it's so from the werewolf's point of view, and we just have kind of a hand with a few talons coming out right out to show that Jack is going to chase after her. It's really cool. I love the layout of this page.
Me too.
This is one of my favorite pages. I love the panel where Marlowe is coming over and she sees George, and you see just the werewolf's claw come out. You only see the claw, that's all, and that's infinitely more effective. And then you see him crumpled up underneath that hood. I mean, that's a striking imagery there. It could have been so easy for the werewolf just to bite him or to slash him with his claws, but the fact that he crushed him under the hood, I think that was really, really cool, really scary.
And I like that after it becomes evident with what happens next, that the werewolf really has his eyes on her. He's fixated on her like she's a jackrabbit or something like that. But that is his prey, his quarry. What I love this page too, guys. I love the unconventional panel layout, the angles like you're talking about, Jacob. I was geeking out on how cool of a simple touch this was in the bottom right, to have the post with a nail coming out and the truck keys hanging off of it that comes out almost like 3D, breaks the panel barriers, both of them, and like comes out into our space. It is such a cool illusion. This guy, we lost somebody good when this guy left comics.
It's no wonder he went to animation, really.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's just doing backgrounds mostly, but to me, this whole page reminds me of a George Romero scene, like the quick close-ups and the
very Night of the Living Dead.
The stuff that you don't see, the little glimpses of things that you don't see off to the side,
and the truck keys being very important. That also helps, and the gas tank.
And the truck key, the truck keys reminds me of the scene in Halloween where, she gets in the car, she doesn't have the keys. She goes into the house, gets the keys, and the door's already unlocked, but she doesn't notice.
Oh yeah.
And she starts the car, and then she's like, "Wait a second!" And
those are all fine.
I'm with you, Justin. That panel where George is under the hood, you just see that one claw. So you see her perspective of her kind of realizing, and then we cut to her point of view of seeing him crouched on there, and he just looks like, he looks like a demon. It's
super
amazing.
Scary.
They have the same hair.
Same hairdresser. So, I don't know about you, Justin, but I know that Russ is a huge horror movie fan too.
Absolutely,
to the X extent. So this is a trope for everybody knows about the vehicle not starting when you need a vehicle to start in a horror movie. But this actually makes sense because George was literally working on it. I don't know how good of a mechanic George is, but so she's turning the keys, like praying to herself, like she's praying so fast, like the words don't have spaces between them. And she's trying to turn the engine over, and the werewolf lands down on the top.
Wow.
Great panel of him landing on top of that truck.
Yeah.
And she screams, "Start already." Yeah, just ripping up the metal, right? Yeah, good points. Tearing the metal off like it's a can of sardines. And then vroom, the engine finally kicks in and she tears off. The werewolf goes flying off, ass over tea kettle. She continues praying, saying, "God, I wish I knew more prayers." And then we get the werewolf doing that awesome loping thing again,
so
where he's
cool.
running like
Bounding.
some kind of a crazy orangutan or something. And he makes it up to the end of the truck bed that's hanging open, and he has jumped onto the back of the truck. And we see in the final panel Joe Fixit surveying this scene. And at the moment, Marla's thinking to herself, "Criminy, what a time to be a lapsed Catholic." She's run out of prayers.
Oh my God, what a cool page.
Yes.
It's a great page. And, I think in modern times, we see werewolves. We take these scenes for granted. Like, werewolf, it's a werewolf, But if this was you, how fucking terrifying would this be? This beast is ripping the hood of, or the roof of your car off, and then you see in the rear view mirror, it's galloping towards you. It's like,
it's loping after you, and you're driving as fast as this vehicle will go, and it's still catching up to you easily, without any effort.
Yeah, I don't know what it would cost to get this original page, but this is a page I would love to own. The source.
So good.
So on the next page, we realize that, Joe is stoked that Marlowe's going to get murdered because that'll make it even for her dumping him. He's basically just being like, I'm just going to pretend like I didn't happen along and just let this happen. And so, Jack is on the roof of the car, like slashing it open as Marlowe's trying to remember like the Rock of Ages prayer, and ends up singing. She ends up singing "God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen" instead, which I thought was really, really funny.
It's so good.
And but those middle panels, especially of the beast tearing open the roof and reaching in, and then right as he's about to get her, we see that, Joe has changed his mind, and the Hulk lands in front of them with a giant thoom that that tips the car over and knocks Jack off of the roof, saving Marlowe, which we knew he would. But I did love that for those first two panels where he's just like, "No, this is great. She's going to get murdered. That serves her right.
I'm going to get some popcorn out and watch this."
Yeah.
You have to let Joe, and then he'll come around, right?
He always does.
Yeah.
He's got to bitch a little bit, but that heart of gold, it'll come out.
He's got to be an asshole about it, but he'll eventually do the right thing.
I feel like deep down he still has like the Green Hulk's heart, because So it's
totally. Definitely.
So we have another great page. The art here is stunning in this whole issue. Marlowe's climbing out of the truck that's on its side, and she says, "Joe, you saved me from it." And he's like, "Yeah, well, what else was I supposed to do?" And then the werewolf is unfazed. In that first panel, I love that he's kind of pulling himself up and just looking over his shoulders, kind of like, it's like when your cat starts doing the little dance when they're getting ready to attack you, just getting his bearings, and he's ready to go. And he does not give a shit about the Hulk. He just runs at Marlowe and doesn't even notice the Hulk's there and just slams into him. And he's like, "Stay back there, Marlowe. Lassie's still got a consuming passion for you." And he's trying to say he wants you. And he just scrolls away from the Hulk, from Joe. And so he grabs him by the foot. And he's like, "Hey, slippery little devil." And so he's just kind of scrabbling after Marlowe. He wants her bad. And Hulk just puts his big, huge, meaty hand on top of the werewolf's head. And it looks hilarious. Like, that was not a gentle grab. And so he's picked him up by the back of the head. And he's getting ready to punch him. And he's like, "Wait a minute. This is the hairball who tried to take a chunk out of me this morning." Like, "Don't want to bite you, Joe. Crazy as it sounds, I think that's a werewolf."
The smartest person in all of the Marvel universe.
Yes.
She didn't say it was a mask. She didn't say it was a guy in a suit. No, that's
true.
But then she created the thought form in my mind of a Hulk werewolf. So now I need to.
Yeah.
It's going to happen at some point. That has to happen.
I think you didn't. How Joe treats Jack in this page. This is when you realize you're like, oh yeah. I mean, Jack can't really hurt Joe, and he's more kind of annoyed. He's just kind of getting his meaty hands on him, and I like that he acts more annoyed than anything until Marlowe says, "Hey, this could be a werewolf," and on the next page, Joe's like, "Oh, he bites me, he'll break his teeth, whatever teeth he has left, that is." And so he punches Jack and sends him flying. But then Joe starts to think, he's like, well, at least I think he'd break his teeth. Then again, if he's really a werewolf, who knows what he's capable of? Let's not find out. I got enough problems being me and Banner. Last thing I need is to become the gray werewolf of Yucca Flats.
I love that while he's thinking all this, Jack is completely undeterred. Like he just bounces up like a little yap yap dog and just starts running back.
Yeah.
He's like a little kid when you put your hand on the forehead and they're trying to punch you. They can't reach you.
And that bottom panel with the werewolf wrapped around that chain is just so good. It is.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
jumps
awesome.
Off the page.
And again, this is a really weird layout. If you step back and look at it, like this is a strange fucking layout, but the angles are really working for Jeff this issue.
God, yes.
And it's leading to the page that had me rolling. I was laughing.
Me too.
Hard.
So we realize, I think, as Jacob was explaining this page, that probably that first skirmish we saw at the beginning of the book was more due to it being 90 seconds before sunrise that the Hulk was kind of not bested, but Jack was holding his own. When it's nighttime here, there's no question he's going to win this fight. And so, we get for you young folks out there, you might be confused. So we're going to talk about the Flintstones. Before they were the Flintstones, they were called the Honeymooners. And so he Jack wraps him up in a chain like a yo-yo. He says, I kept warning you, Alice. I kept saying, you keep pushing me, and one of these days, and he starts swinging him around. Whiz, 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 whiz. This is it, Alice. This is the day. And he lets go, and you can see the chain flying up in the air. And he goes, bang, zoom. To the moon, Alice! And you just see this huge arc of this little thing going towards the full moon. Literally, that's Jack. He was just flung like a yo-yo or something. And he goes flying, and then he arcs, and then lands in a little arroyo or whatever those things are called, like a little gully.
And he's never seen again.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah, it looks like he just hurled him like a mile, probably more than a mile.
Yeah. I can't decide which sound effect I'd rather it be. Should it be or should it be Goofy's like falling screaming?
Well, I love that top left panel.
I like that one better.
I like that in the top left panels. He's winding up this thing and he's starting to do the Honeymooners bit. You can see the sound effect of the chain whizzing and the werewolf's just going rah, 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 rah.
Like his
Three
face
Stooges.
is great in that panel. I love it.
So yeah, like you say, that the action's pretty much over. We don't see Jack again on the next page. Marlo just comes right out with this. She's like, Joe, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are, but the one thing I'm glad about is where you are, namely right here. And I'm starting to remember why I fell in love with you. So yeah, she's still just nuts about Joe. And Joe is just like, don't. I almost let that thing kill you. I was so mad at you. I almost stood by. And she's like, but you never would because of what's inside you. And Joe's like, or who's inside me? Marlo's like, huh? And he says, forget it. It's stupid, all of it. I wanted to see you because I had to find out why you loved me or if you did. And she's like, I did. I did. And so, yeah, this gets down to, I mean, one of my main notes for this issue is just like, Peter David wrote a romance comic disguised as a Hulk versus werewolf fight.
Yep.
Basically.
Yeah, definitely.
And we get that full on in this page.
Yeah, this last scene here is such good stuff. So he's lamenting here, saying, no, you never did. It's like you said, it's what's inside me. Except you don't understand. I'm all on the outside. What's inside me isn't me. That's what you loved. And Betty loved. That's what he needs, but not me. And this, he starts getting angry, getting his tough kind of facade back up. I don't need anything or anyone. It's like, is that what you really believe, Joe? And he looks sad again. He's like, I have to. And then they kind of just are alone together for a moment in silence. And then she hugs him and says, goodbye, Joe. And she turns to walk away. And then whoosh, he's jumped million-mile jump. And she is alone with that busted-up truck in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter David to me is kind of like the king of like the most powerful last page of the comic.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
And that was true of his X Factor stuff as well, and pretty much anything else. Like he's the king of like leaving those great, powerful, resonant, kind of emotional stuff that sticks with you after you read it in that last page that makes you want to read the next issue because you're wondering what the last page will be like in that one.
Yep. Good
I couldn't help but hearing do 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 do.
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
Fits in a lot of Peter David's issues at the end, for sure.
Definitely.
Before we move on to letters, I would like to hear some final thoughts, and we always like our guest to go first. Russ, why don't you start this time?
Okay. This is a really strong Hulk issue, but I think this is a phenomenal Jack Russell issue. It's a great one-shot story. Yes, we have the overarching bits with Hulk and Marlowe, but I mean, Jack kind of steals the show, which of course he's going to. He's a fucking werewolf. But yeah, it's a one and done. There's not too much exposition about why Jack's there. He explains it in one little paragraph, and then, like we said, he's gone by the end of it. I feel like it was just Peter David's excuse to write a really cool werewolf story, and that's all you need to be. You don't have to do these weird team up / make him a superhero type thing. You just got to be a werewolf. That's all you got to be. Yeah, I loved it. Justin?
Yeah, I love this too. I loved it so much. The art was perfect, especially that first page. I wish I could have a poster of that first page of this issue so much. But yeah, I love the parallels between Bruce and Jack's condition, both of them kind of having this nighttime curse, and the parallels of them finding their different hiding places. I just love that so much. But I also love the little subtle touches, like George, the old dude out in the desert who had his pet coyote all of a sudden eviscerated by this rampaging werewolf out in the middle of the desert, and who gets crushed underneath the hood of his own pickup truck. Little characters like that Peter David is also really good at making you care about, even in just a few panels. Little stuff like that. And the scenes with him and Marlowe were beautiful, like that last page where they hug each other. I mean, that's beautiful, poignant, resonant stuff that, like I said, it stays with you after you read it. And it makes you want to pick up the next issue and find out what happens again. And I loved the whole fight between Joe and the werewolf. I thought it was great. And it was nice to see the werewolf getting some licks in, because you'd think, oh yeah, there's no contest here. Definitely Joe's going to beat the tar out of this guy. But no, he does really great. He does really well for himself against Joe. And I thought that was nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it was nice seeing him actually fight, the Hulk, and kind of stand his ground instead of getting beat up by the family chauffeur.
Exactly. And we do see in this issue that similar to Dracula from Tomb of Dracula, Jack Russell has a taste for women. Like, women are, he's definitely a heterosexual creature. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, it was nice. It's kind of like, makes me think of that Simpsons saying, you made me bleed my own blood. He didn't quite draw blood, but he was kind of like, hey, I felt almost that. That's all we really wanted, was just something like that. This is one of my favorite issues of this run, not just because the werewolf sign up, the art's gorgeous, all of those character moments you guys were talking about, but Marie Severin, I think, is the hero here. I think she's the secret sauce that made this art go from great to fantabulous. So absolutely love it. Can't recommend it enough. And the cover's gorgeous as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, Jeff Purvis is only going to be on the Hulk for 4 more issues. But I think in his run, he just gets better and better. And I know that at this time, he's probably doing double duty. I mean, he's working in animation probably nearly full time, as well as doing this at the same time. So, but yeah, I mean, he just gets better and better each issue, and it's a real travesty. He's only going to be around for 4 more issues. But I fully agree. I mean, I think Marie Severin is the glue that binds it all together, and that makes it just a a classic Hulk issue and a classic issue featuring Jack Russell. Yeah, I mean, Matt, we talked about a lot of the few of the high points this season, and obviously the Sienkiewicz stuff is probably the high point for sure. But this is right up there. This might be my second favorite thing after those two Sienkiewicz issues, because I think it's a perfect issue of comics. Like Peter David and Jeff Purvis and Marie Severin all are turning in their best work, in my opinion. So yeah, this was a joy to read.
Yeah, we might have to switch up some categories for the finale this season, because before it was kind of more of like, what was your favorite story? I really need to think about it. It's not that case this season nearly as much.
It'll be a much easier pick this time.
Yeah.
Well, what I love about this season is like some other characters have really shined. I mean, obviously Spider-Woman, The Shroud, Justin and I's favorite, Moon Knight.
Yes.
So we're all eating good because Justin and I both love Moon Knight. And we both love the Hulk, and I mean, we love the Shroud. We love Jennifer, or not Jessica Drew. I'm so used to saying Jennifer on my show, but yeah, like I think unfortunately Jack's kind of taken a back seat this season, but we've gotten some great comics out of it. So
we have. Like you said, it's been really fun meeting some of these characters and spending more time with them. Characters that I knew about and was interested in all my life and just never made the time to explore. So it's been a win. We have some mail here. The column was called Gray Matter. This is from Hulk 368. I'm just going to read two really short ones. Dear Hulksters, issue number 362 was good, but you cut off the werewolf too quick. The next issue should have him too. He and the Hulk would make a good team, and Jack and Bruce could find a cure for their illnesses together. And what's up with Tony Stark not telling Bruce where Betty is? I don't know that last thing, but Jack's not a scientist. This is Michael Sattinger from Amityville. He's not a scientist. He's just more of a dingbat. So he's not going to help Bruce at all, unless he sweeps and covers for Bruce with the science stuff.
He could be the lab assistant. He could go get his Starbucks.
You need another Coke, Mr. Banner? So and then the other letter is, Dear Peter, a nice contrast in the Incredible Hulk 362 between Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night, and the Incredible Hulk, since both are creatures of the night. Granted, Jack's transformation is only during the full moon every month. It has been quite some time since Jack Russell has appeared on a regular basis, or an irregular basis for that matter, and a little bit of catching up would have been nice. I would hazard to guess that over half your readers have never even heard of Jack Russell, and here he is for one issue, and then whammo, back into the Marvel Universe limbo. Werewolf by Night was an excellent book, and I, for one, would love to see it revamped and brought back. Charles S. Novinsky from Grand Junction, Colorado. And I agree, Charles.
Good guy.
My God, yes.
with 5 o'clock shadow, perennial cigarette in his fingers, sunglasses, and a ponytail.
Black coffee.
And black leather jacket, black leather duster.
It's coming.
Can't forget, all the pouches, need the pouches, the bandoliers. And
the bandoliers.
Can't wait to jump ship before that happens. That's a scroll, Jack. That is not Jack Russell. That is a scroll.
I like that head cannon right there.
Yeah. He's definitely a scroll.
Now I want to see a scroll with a werewolfism. That's what I want.
Werewolfism. This is the part of the show where we shout out to the folks that support us on the highest tiers of Patreon. We have the $5 tier, which is the Pack brothers and sisters, or just Pack members. That's folks like Ryan from Across the Bifrost,
Tim Tucker,
Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Blake, the last name withheld,
Caleb,
Ben M,
Michelle from Moonlit Comics,
Rob Haferman,
Russ from Tomes of Evil,
Brad Elmore,
Tony Ayupi,
Jared C,
Brink,
Bill from Long Island,
David D,
MJ,
and we also have a $10 tier. Those are the folks that support us at the highest level on Patreon. They get extra special stuff and love shout-outs from us like this. Folks like Michael Giacchino,
Josh Link,
Jackson T. Overstreet,
Mark Nivens,
and Eric Hadley. Thanks for the support, guys. You make the show awesome.
So, guys, it's been so great having you on and talking with you. Yeah, we've been really looking forward to this episode. So, yeah, why don't you let everybody know about your show, and Gamma Charge also has a Patreon, right?
Yes, patreon.com/Gamma Charge Hulk podcast. We have 3 tiers on there. First tier, just $1, a nice thank you, and you get a shout out on the show. Second tier, $3, and you get early episodes. And then 5 tier, you get a bonus show every month, where we talk about something Hulk adjacent.
Yes.
Although we are not entirely beholden to that. Most recently, we did a double episode on the 1931 versions of Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Obviously, the connection to the Hulk, pretty obvious there. But other than that, you can find us mostly on Twitter until that dies its inevitable death, at GC Hulk Podcast. We're also on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. But we're easy to find on there. Justin, anything to add? Did I miss anything?
We also have another show that we just launched called Stakes and Staples, which is a comic book vampire podcast where we're covering Tomb of Dracula and some DC, some vampire stuff from some other publishers as well. And we're also discussing some of the movies, some classic vampire films as well.
Oh, it sounds great. Yeah. I know that. So the first episode is out of Stakes and Staples.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah. We've been having a blast with that. I mean, we kind of, not to sound all sappy, we did it as an homage to you guys. And I asked Matt for his blessing to do it because I didn't want to take Dracula away from the Bronze Age monsters if you guys were going to talk about him there, but he gave me the green light. And,
all right.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. That was a very nice gesture. Not necessary, but super nice. And Jacob and I had talked through Tomb of Dracula and decided that was an area we weren't going to trod. So I'm glad you guys are doing it though, because I'm excited to listen. I enjoyed the first episode.
It's a vast continent, and it's so much fun to cover from the beginning. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. For our bonus show this week, you can join us if you are a Patreon level that does get access to those shows, either the video version or the audio version. This week, we're going to be talking about the 1984 film by Neil Jordan, The Company of Wolves, a personal favorite of mine. And although we wrapped up the first Scourges adventures in our last episode in Cap 320, there was a kind of one that came after the fact, kind of an afterthought, that is John Byrne from Marvel Fanfare, number 29, and it is a story made up entirely of splash pages, and it's kind of the final entry in our Scourge adventure. So kind of an afterthought, sweeping up the spotlight of murder, vigilante murder, mopping up the blood of all the vigilante murder in the bar with no name.
And it's a Hulk story.
So serendipitous. I did not plan this, but yeah, I'm kind of excited we get to do 2 Hulk stories tonight. So very cool. All right, you guys, I'll throw some links to your socials and whatnot into the show notes. Thanks again so much for making the time to come talk to us.
Thanks for having us. It was super fun.
And we can't wait to have you guys back in the Green Door sometime.
Yes.
I would love that, and I love vampires. Those are 2 things I enjoy talking about.
Yep.
Nice.
Whenever you want.
Awesome.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, thank you again.
Guys. Thank you very much, guys.
Till we meet again beneath the full moon, furry ones, here's howling at ya.